Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Tyria then. We are now on episode 34, and with me, as always, is Miko.
Hello, everyone.
And
Good to be back.
Yes, we are back. We're a little bit late, but we're back. I am, of course, Aaron, back to bring you a little bit more discussion on Guild Wars. We've progressed. We've moved forward with the story.
Yes.
We've done a little bit of main plot. We've done a little bit of side questing. We've even done Miko did a little bit of anniversary running around.
Farming, yep.
You got a thing.
I got a thing, yes. I did change my secondary profession to warrior, and then I picked up the Decade Spear Mist Piercer, which has a bit of a synergistic effect because it's got a double adrenaline gain chance, like 10%. But hey, I mean, I'll take it. I'll take that chance.
That's a cool weapon name.
Yeah, Mist Piercer.
Yeah, I like
and
this.
apparently it unfurls or it's supposed to unfurl like a banner or something when you're holding it, but I haven't actually seen it have that unfurled banner.
So it has like a banner hanging from it, like a...
Yes, that's what the skin shows on the wiki. And when I saw it, I was like, well, that looks cool. But of course, as I was fighting, I didn't actually see the banner. I just saw my character shooting it, and I saw that my adrenaline was slightly going up faster, even though I was also rocking, for great justice. So
I never thought of the Paragon as the standard bearer, but this weapon is setting a new precedent here.
Yeah.
You should change your character name to Miko, the standard bearer. I think that's too long.
Yeah, probably. I probably would run out of characters.
So you're synergized now. You're Adrenaline Paragon, yes. the whole deal.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Trying to be a little bit smarter.
And how was the content to do that? You had to get like proofs of legend from the anniversary event, like run around, do stuff?
Yeah, I just basically repeat missions and get 5 proofs of legend, turn it into the vendor at Embark Beach. Make sure that you get it with the character that you actually want it for, because it automatically customizes as soon as it goes in your inventory. So
Embark,
right.
I'm out here customizing everything I get. Like I have no interest in like engaging in player trade. It's 2025, right? Right. So I'm customizing everything. I want that extra 20% damage. It's very important to me.
Yeah.
I did not do that. I should, because my heroes desperately need gear. And that is a way. Like, I have the other 2 campaigns unlocked, right? I can do missions.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to do that. Do you have to do them in hard mode?
No.
Can you do the low-level missions?
Yes. You basically just get a free proof of legend for doing a mission. It's one, what is it? Something like per region, per character, something like that. Like 1 mission per region, per character, or something like that. But 5, now, that's easy. You can even do the Ascension doppelganger one. It should count.
Can you just do it over and over, or is it 1 per character?
1 per character.
Of course.
Who cares? It's so quick.
Now, it is well into May when we're recording this. Is this event over now?
It's over tomorrow. Aaron, get on it today.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I could I could just go on a spree and try to equip every hero I have in over like a 12-hour period. I could put in for PTO from work, right?
Right.
Just take
it's
tomorrow.
2025.
Yeah, just take tomorrow and be like, listen, I have things to do.
I have things to do.
And then I wouldn't have to spend 5 platinum at the weapon vendor for a non-inscripted blue max weapon. Which I'm refusing to do, by the way. I'm not doing that. I'm just kind of keeping my eye on collectors and keeping my eye out for loot. Which is kind of fun. It's kind of fun to like be keeping my eye out for stuff for the heroes instead of just having them have all the best stuff by default. So I'm kind of having fun with that, and my build is so strong. This vow of strength thing that I'm doing, it's so good that it almost doesn't matter. But that's while we're fighting like Cornins and Tusked Howlers, right? Like pretty low danger enemies. As soon as we start getting into Djinns and whatever the hell is out in the desolation, right?
Right, yeah, you want to be well equipped.
Yeah, I'm probably going to start hitting a wall there. We've made it 5 minutes into the show without discussing the plot of the game at all. I like this. That's fun to me. Where did we leave off with the Nightfall campaign? What's going on with Miko and Aaron the Third?
So they ran into a bit of trouble because we're being hunted.
By the hunger.
And that's what we found. That's what we found out last episode. We're being hunted because we're basically outlaws.
In the quest, literally called Hunted.
Hunted, yes,
with an exclamation mark.
Yeah, we did a thing because we were following Cormier and her bright idea of taking the fight to Varish, and she kind of unleashed a demonic horde on us, and one big dude in particular, and so wiped the floor with us essentially.
She did the old villain trap thing.
That's right. And so we are now stuck in Corna, and we're outlaws. And so last episode we had to go and rescue Koss, who was shackled as a prisoner.
The most outlaw of them all.
Yes, because he was captured along with some other Sun Spears. We freed a lot of Sun Spears. Then we had to get our homies, the Sun Spears, out back onto a boat. So Koss made a deal with a corsair to let us take passage on her ship and to go back to Istan.
And then she dumps us off in Camadan.
She dumped us off in Camadan, and before we actually did that, we did a little building up our base in a back little cavernous area. So now we have a base of operations in Corna, and we also helped Milani heal the land, right? And we helped some people with some cows. So we were out there doing good deeds, trying to get the Cornins to trust us a little bit.
Yeah, kind of winning over the people
and help us. Yes,
they've got like an oppressive regime going on.
It's the winning hearts and minds thing. That's what we were out doing with the Cornin people on the down low, because we didn't want like the Cornins to come and kill us, so we were taking out Cornins.
And Varish really did get us with the classic villain, like not just the trap, but the guess what? I've got a big dude trap, right? There ain't no trap like one with a big dude. And Varish has a very big dude that she got us with, because we don't have a big dude.
No.
And when
one
one
walks
side
on all fours and it's very very big and likes to nom on people.
Yeah, when one side has a big dude and the other side doesn't, it usually goes.
You run away. Yeah.
Usually goes a specific direction. So yeah, we get dumped off in Camadan. What was the sailor's name? Melanie.
Margaret the Sly.
The Sly. Yeah, that's it. It's not Melanie.
Melanie. Melanie would be our dervish, right? Melanie. Sure, that works.
Maybe that's where my mind was going with that. Melanie is definitely in HR and doesn't respond to your emails. No. So when we spawn back in Camadan, I think we have to chat with we got to talk to the consulate. Consulate. How do you say
it? Consulate.
Yeah. Because it's a consul. Yeah. So we have to go talk to the dockmaster when we land in Camadan. Is all like, "Oh my gosh, you're here! You're alive!" And you're kind of in trouble. They don't know anything.
What has happened? Things are not good. You need to go and report to the elders and tell them what has happened. So we have to go into the consulate and talk to the 3 elders in Camadan.
Yeah, there's always these little, because Guild Wars tells its story in very like detailed chunks. So there's
Mm-hmm.
always like this kind of mystery as to how much time has passed. And
Mm-hmm.
apparently, like, I get the impression from this guy we talked to. I don't even remember who gives us the quest. Who gives us this quest? It's some guy standing in Cameron.
Dockmaster Alaro.
Gotcha. That guy.
Ahlaro. Yeah,
Yeah.
because, you know.
Gotta,
Mm-hmm.
gotta slip that H in there.
That's right.
The way this guy reacts to us is like, wow, you're back. Why don't you tell us what happened? So apparently, like, no one here has a clue, like, how Gandara went, even.
Right.
They're like, we could be coming back with news of victory for all they know.
Yeah, no, all that they saw was that there were bodies and empty boats washing ashore.
All the way
So,
across
you know,
the bodies washed all the way across the ocean.
apparently.
They
So,
pulled
you
like
know.
a you know, in the Return of the King when they launched those heads over the wall.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Corna must have pulled a Mordor and trebucheted those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Point being, we do have to head to the consulate and talk with Elder Nalo, Elder Sewell, who is like the main elder. Elder Sewell is like the big elder,
Mm-hmm.
and Elder Dahut.
Yes.
And these are, each of these guys turns out to be like, well, Nalo and Dahut, they want to surrender, and Sewell is the only one who kind of like has our backs. But all three of them like are single-minded in like dissing the fuck out of Cormyr.
Yeah. Yeah.
They do not mince words about this. They're like, yeah, please don't suck like Cormyr did.
Yeah. Pretty much.
It's really mean.
It's kind of funny. I know, and it's also a little amusing.
It is.
Because, you know, all this time we were like, but why? We're following Cormyr. She seems to like have it together. She's the spear marshal. Surely she should, you know what's going on. But no, Nalo is like, let's go make a deal. Maybe we can, make amends.
Yeah, he's like upset about resource drain, right? He's like there with a ledger, like, all right, that cost us so many ships and so many uniforms, and yeah, like that's his like angle on this is he's like, yeah, we can't afford this war anymore. We better sue for peace.
Yeah. And
Nala sucks.
Dahut's like, yeah, and Dahut is no better. He's just like, let's just surrender and ask for mercy. And Sewell's like, what? How about we try and
actually work with what we have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sewell at least, well, because I like where Sewell's coming from, because he's the one that finally gave the okay, right?
Yeah.
Cormyr was like, I'm doing this with or without you. So Sewell was like, I guess we're doing this. And so now he's in that position where he's like, I can give up or I can commit. And he's committing.
Yeah. And he's committing.
He's backing us on the premise that we do better than Cormyr, essentially.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like, okay, well, you've rescued survivors, you've got a base inside Cornan territory, so these are good things.
Mm-hmm. On the other hand, they have demons.
Right.
That's a bad thing.
Yeah. He's like, how can we defend ourselves against demons? I'm not really sure. Maybe you'll figure it out on the way. Hey, I've got an idea. Go talk to the Vabians.
Yeah, he sends us off to get the support of the Vabian princes to kind of band together against Corna. Because, like, Vabi is even closer to Corna than we are. Like, we're at least across the sea.
Yeah.
Vabi shares a border.
Is he the one that calls them corpulent?
I notated this too. He calls them corpulent.
Yeah,
which is a diss. That's
100%.
It's like a not so nice. It's like kind of an archaic way of describing like a lazy, overweight person.
Yes.
Yes. With like kind of an overtone of sliminess to it as well.
Yeah. So he's basically setting us up, making us think that they're kind of like Jabba the Hutt-esque.
Which one of them is? How do we navigate this delicately? Arena. This game came out in 2006, I think.
Yep.
There's a little more. there's a little more delicacy approached with overweight characters these days, I think. But
Yes.
Prince Baka the Magnificent, the first time you're introduced to this character, you're rounding up things for him to eat. Let's just put it that way, right?
Yeah. He's a
So
glutton.
yeah,
He's a glutton.
yeah. So they have one of these princes that like fits this archetype, and I'm sure he's like how word gets around, right? But we're gonna meet all of them later down the line. It's gonna be a good time. There is a little bit more to them than Elder Soul would have you envision, ultimately.
Yeah.
But that's our mission. We finish this quest, and we get a quest called Tavabi.
Yes.
It also has an exclamation mark on the end.
Yes. Yeah.
I like these quests with exclamation marks on the end. They're fun.
Yeah, no, it's really great.
And instead of just running Tavabi, we got to ask Dunkoro how to get there.
Yeah. Dunkoro.
Do you like Dunkoro?
Dunkoro is very... He's very one-dimensional, I feel like. He just has a plan. That's all he says. I have a plan. I hope you have a plan, because I have a plan. My plan is now to run away. Changing the plan. It's like, that's great.
It's a very bizarre single character, because you're right, he's one-dimensional in the way that... Have you ever watched an anime where there's too many characters and they run out of one-dimensional character traits to give people, so they give them something really, really, really weird?
Yes.
That's Dunkoro.
That's Dunkoro. Yeah.
Except he's like a main character that's introduced very early, but they decided to like jump the shark immediately.
I think this is the one where he's like, okay, you've got to go and talk to Nerashi. She'll show you the way, but kind of be careful because she's kind of a hothead and will go off half-cocked.
Yeah, and
she's like, he cracked me because she was just like, oh, that he's talking smack about me. He only has plans.
Yeah, so there's because you talk to Dunkoro and then you go out the portal and Nerashi's there and you basically tattle on Dunkoro. You tell Nerashi like, hey, this man was talking shit. And she talks shit. She refers to his plans as harebrained schemes.
Harebrained schemes, yeah. Liable to backfire on us more than anything.
And also, before I even talked to Nerashi, when I was talking to Dunkoro, I was like, whoa, hold up. You're going to diss the low-key MVP of this entire fucking plotline?
Yeah, because that's what we found out last episode, that Nerashi is like just... She's awesome.
Well, Dunkoro
is like scout du jour.
Yeah, well, Dunkoro is sitting at the command post, like stirring the cookpot, the communal cookpot. Nerashi is out there like doing work, like getting our leads.
I have a feeling that Dunkoro is jealous of Nerashi.
I think he is. Yeah, because she doesn't need a plan.
No.
She just does
she
it.
Gets shit done. Yeah.
She just does it. Like, you give her a mission and she's like, that will get done. How? I don't know, but it will get done.
That's right.
Nerashi is the main character.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to go... actually, we need like a musical segment for this at this point. I have our word lesson for the episode here.
Okay. We're going to have to get Arctic to give us a musical segment.
A little like... Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you're talking to Dunkoro, he mentions that we need to get to Vabi, we need to get through the fortress of Jahai, which this already sounds like a bad idea, right? It's called Fortress. And we're a ragtag group of like miscreants.
Right. Yes.
But he mentions somewhere that we have to go through called the Great Cataract.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know, in reference to geography, what a cataract is?
The waterfall.
Yeah, I didn't know that. This is new to me.
Yeah. It's Latin based.
Yeah, so this is
That's Latin in origin. That's why I know it.
Gotcha. Did you take Latin like in school?
No, but I speak Spanish and I know Italian a little bit.
Gotcha. So okay. I mean, I did know you speak Spanish, but that, of course, being a Latin language, that makes sense. Yeah, this is new information to me. I read that and I was like, what the hell are you talking about? The Great Cataract. Yeah, apparently a cataract in reference to geography is like one of those places where like a bunch of waterfalls happen all together.
It's like the Niagara Falls, but like on steroids.
Yeah, they've got some cool cataracts like everywhere else in the world except the United States.
Yeah, we don't have cool cataracts. Well, we've got the Niagara Falls, kind of. I mean, that's ours and also Canada's.
Yeah, I think Canada lays claim on that one.
Yeah, pretty much. But although there is an American side, or at least you can kind of take boats out of.
Yeah, we don't like people from New York. No, I'm joking. New York listeners, I'm joking.
I'm from New York. What are you talking
about? Drama here on the Tyria Then podcast. No, people from New York are just fine. But I do think Niagara Falls is Canadian at heart.
It kind of is.
So
it's just a little bit better from the Canadian side. I'll just say
that was the learning corner with Aaron. Our new but also not new segment on the Tyria Then podcast.
Yes, vocabulary are us, right?
Yes, I build my vocabulary every episode, and Miko doesn't because she already knows the word every time I bring it up. You can tell by how these segments go which one of us has read more. So, anyway,
meanwhile, yes.
Cataracts aside, we do have to go with Nerashi to scout this fortress of Jahai, to kind of figure out if there is a way through.
Yes.
And after we're done ripping on Dunkoro, we head out to what's the explorable area called? Jahai Bluffs?
Bluffs. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. Jahai Bluffs.
Because it's not called that in Guild Wars 2.
No.
It's called something else.
Jahai Plains?
I don't know. Maybe it is called Jahai Bluffs. I don't know. But in this case, I do believe it's the Jahai Bluffs. And we kind of just pitter-patter through it. And she points out that when we get inside of the fortress, it's like it's like carved into the stone like wall. It's very cool.
It's also called Jahai Bluffs in Guild Wars 2.
Okay.
I had to check.
Because I was like, am I crazy? Because it sounds like some Guild Wars 2 shit.
Yeah, friends, we have played that game, but we just haven't in a while.
Yeah, no, it's coming. I promise it's coming, guys.
It's coming, yeah.
But she does point out that the Fortress of Jahai, this area we're standing on a hill looking at, is where Tyria defeated Palo Ojoko in that bonus mission that we did.
That's right.
20 episodes ago. Yeah,
it was a good time. You go watch that. Didn't we do a separate episode for that one?
I think we tacked it. I think we tacked it on to the end of the Crystal Desert.
That's right. I think that's probably right.
Go listen to episodes 10, 11, 12, and 13 of Tyria Then.
Somewhere in there is Tyria.
Yeah, Tyria's in there somewhere. Do that. Spend 6 hours doing that rather than just looking this up on the wiki.
That's right. Don't do that.
I think we mostly, maybe later, but I think we mostly just fought with bugs out here.
Yeah. But what Nerashi does tell us is that there is no way through. It would be suicide. We need to find a way around.
Thank God for Nerashi, because when Dunkoro was like, we need to go through the Fortress of Jahai, I was like, that's a bad plan.
Bad plan. She's like, look at how heavily fortified it is. No, we're never going to get through here.
Literally. So thank God for Nerashi and her like basic logic.
Superior scouting skills.
Yeah. Good shit. Did you run into Hecate's at all while you were out here?
Yes. I think I did on this. Yes, I believe I did.
I have it.
I know I did. I know I did in the other map, but I'm trying to remember if I did in this one.
So. I have it notated on this one, so I think they're hanging out by the pond. There's like a pond, and it's got some Hecates.
Yeah.
What's a Hecate?
Frogs.
They're frog people.
They're basically big ass toads.
That's why they're by the pond.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're interesting enough as toad people go, right? Like there's like a tall, lanky one, and the rest of them are like squat little ones, and the tall, lanky one is the healer. Yeah, they jump. So they're
jump
cool.
like frogs. So yeah, so you can spot them at least.
Now, do the Hecate make a comeback in Guild Wars 2, or are they exclusively the Hylic in Guild Wars 2?
I think they're the Hylic in Guild Wars 2.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I think, because I'm pretty sure we don't get Hecates.
More or less the same concept.
But, yes.
I don't know what if there are any lore scholars in the chat that know the difference between a Hylic and a Hecate, Go ahead and fill us in. Because I couldn't tell you. They're both frog people.
The Hecate, according to the wiki, the Hecate are the Hylic tribe native to Alona.
Okay, so all Hecates are Hylics, not all Hylics are Hecates.
Right, I guess so.
They are the toads of the Hylic phylum?
Yeah. I don't.
Species.
Now we're
species is the one we're going for.
There you go. That's the one.
I was like,
That's
it's not phylum.
No.
Trying to think back to like my 5th grade science book. All right. This episode is going in weird directions, but
okay.
Yeah, we fought some frog people, we fought some insects, and we ran into some enslavement happening.
Yeah. Why? Because Nerashi always has. She's a good improviser, right? She sees a centaur that she knows. She's like, I know that guy. He must have been captured. I have an idea.
And
let's go figure this out.
Yeah, and then she's like, let's do it like an about-face heel turn and go somewhere else. Meanwhile, my dumb ass charges right through that portal.
No.
And I have to do the whole quest over again.
No, yeah.
And I was so annoyed with it that I didn't want to run through the command post again, so I just rezoned back through the portal and went backwards.
Yeah.
Back to
And go
Nerashi.
pick her up. Yeah.
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 Did you stop by this little village that's on the way on this quest? It's got a couple corn and guards in it.
Yeah, I kind of took them out, and the peasants were just kind of hanging out, walking around, minding their business.
Did you see the 2 collectors who are children?
Yes.
I guess you have equipment, so you don't really need to check collectors. I'm over here scrabbling at collectors, desperately trying to find any max damage weapons I can purchase.
I think I went and checked them and saw that they didn't have anything that I needed, so I forgot to read their dialogue. I mean, this is kind of like the story of this podcast. I forget to do things, guys.
Right.
This is why I named my first pet Amnesia.
Well, here's the thing. Your brain is full of useful information like cataracts.
Cataracts, right.
And mine is devoid of useful information, so I read collector dialogue.
So what did the children have to say?
One of them named Hlengiwi. I don't know how to say this name. Hlengwi, or let's say it's that. He's a young boy, and he says he made a bet with his school bully that he could get a Hecate tongue, but now that he's here and he actually has to get one, he's too scared and he needs me to do it. Which the whole thing, and you meet this guy who wants the Hecate tongues later. This is a whole thing.
Yeah, there was I had a vague memory that Hecate tongues come in handy, and I remember also I think there's a quest for Hecate hearts later on. Does that sound familiar to you?
I'm sure I'll find out, but I've never done the Hecate hearts.
Okay, then maybe it's the Hecate tongues. All I know is that I farmed Hecates for a while for somebody, and it was a quest, and those were hours of my life I was never going to get back.
Are you sure it wasn't for Nicholas the Traveler?
No, it wasn't.
Gotcha. Standing right next to Holengui is a little girl named Poti, and she is collecting insect carapaces because a mean man scared the shit out of her with a Hecate tongue, and she wants to put insect carapaces in his bed like, what's that mob movie with the horse head?
Yeah, Godfather.
Yeah, like Godfather style to scare him back.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's some like just menace out there collecting Hecate tongues to scare women with.
Wow.
Yeah, and you get to meet this paragon of a human being, not to be confused with the class paragon, of course. He's hanging out at the Kodiner Crossroads mission outpost, I want to say. Okay. I don't know. He might be in Yolanhaven, actually, because we did a bunch of stuff there. But he basically, you talk to this guy, his name is, when you find him, we'll just talk about it now. His name is Dalsba, which is a terrible name.
Oh, I ran into that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's basically like, hey, can you bring me Hecate tongues? I like using them to scare women.
Yeah,
He just
he's over
says
in
that.
the Jarin estate. Yes, he's terrible.
The fucking audacity of this guy.
Yes.
He's like, hi, I'm a budding serial killer. Could you bring me like my
Hecate
weird
tongues.
my weird
fetish.
my weird
Yeah.
fetish gear, please?
Oh my lord.
And I'm like, dude, if the game gave me the option, I would murder you on the spot.
Seriously.
So that's a weird like trio of collectors that you can find in this area. That's just utterly bizarre in every way. I don't know why they're included in the game. But after we see this centaur get abducted, I believe a group of Cornin soldiers sees us. And they like run down the hill Helm's Deep style to...
Yeah, you have to take them out so that they don't go sound the alarm.
Yes, it's just a group of Cornins. It's very easy.
Yeah, it's very easy.
And did we mention, I think you did mention that the centaur's name is Mirza Veldrunner?
I did not, but you have now, so that is good.
Nerashi says it. She's like, hey, I recognize that centaur. Their name is Mirza Veldrunner. They're like the leader of the Veldrunners, which is apparently, I think we find out later that they're the last remaining free tribe of centaurs in Ilona, and I think they're no longer free now that we've seen this.
Right.
So once we take care of those Cornins, I think we have to go back and talk to
Lonai, yeah.
Who is, of course, like running shit in the Sunspear Sanctuary.
Yep. Yeah. And she's like, okay, frontal assault on the fortress, bad idea. Good. Glad you made it back. Don't worry me. So, she cares.
And then she is like, hey, don't want to alarm you. Not a big deal. But a centaur snuck in and is blackmailing the shit out of us right now.
Yeah, go talk to him. He's in the command post. He'll talk to no one but you.
And this is...
Because apparently we're like the shit now.
Yeah, well, because we did get elected. I don't know if we were elected or if we just like decided, but we were we were appointed. That's the word. That's the word I'm looking for, is appointed. We were appointed the leader of the Sunspears last episode.
We were voluntold.
Yes,
we were voluntold.
Absolutely, we were voluntarily conscripted.
Yeah.
And this is weird because this is not the only instance of blackmail we're going to suffer this episode. This is the blackmail episode.
Yes,
the main reason being that we, of course, are hidden from the Cornins here, and if anybody knows the location, they can essentially hold our feet to the fire.
Pretty much.
What's this centaur's name? What's he about?
This is Zed with an H thrown in, so maybe you want to pronounce it Zed. Zed Shadowhoof.
I've always said Z-Head.
Z-Head?
No, I haven't. That would be insane.
I always call him Zed.
Same.
Yeah. So Zed Shadowhoof, he is like, hey, I will spill the beans on your location here, unless you come and help me free our leader, Mirza Veldrunner.
And the dialogue is good, because the way he sells it to you is like, hey, like, this isn't my favorite thing to do to another person, but like I have to, right? And the way he phrases it is like, you have two options. A, you can come with me to the Dejarin estate to help free my tribesmen. B, you can not go with me, in which case I will have to go myself, which will inevitably lead to me getting captured and revealing your location under interrogation.
Right.
Which is like kind of a fun... It kind of paints Zed as like an intelligent, witty character.
Yeah.
Because it's like a threat, but a veiled threat, right?
Yeah, and he has no real love of humans. He calls us two legs.
He does.
And, but, he's like, I know you've got some problems here with Varish Asa. Why don't we team up, in a sense?
Yes, and so far in the Guild Wars franchise, our experience with centaurs is that they openly hate humans.
Yeah.
We have not met a friendly centaur except Ventari
Right.
from Prophecies.
Yeah. Prophecies, yeah.
And then no centaurs in factions.
Mm-mm.
So centaurs are back, and we've got a friendly right off the bat.
Yep.
So that's nice compared to the many, many hostile tribes of centaurs in Prophecies.
That we annihilated, yes.
Yeah, I don't want to tell Zed about my buddy over the sea, Aaron the First, who is the bane of the centaur's existence in Tyria.
Yes.
But so we have to agree to help Zed here, basically. We are required to.
Yeah.
And he does not join our party yet. I think we have to finish this quest for him to join our party.
Correct. And he takes us out. Yeah, we have to go out and meet him in the Jahai Bluffs. And he's with another character who's got some inside information. And he's called the Master of Whispers.
Yes, this random dude named the Master of Whispers. Now, I have already run into a Whispers associate. Have you?
No, I don't think I have.
Where
did you run into?
They were the shrine NPC at one of the red shrines in one of the areas we were running around in.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that was weird. Didn't know what that was about. They were just called like an Order of Whispers Adept or whatever they're called.
Right. Okay.
And so like in character, I'm just like, I don't know what the hell that guy is. Gave me a shrine buff though.
Yeah.
So now we're running into this guy named the Master of Whispers, and immediately, like off the bat, did you read his like blurb dialogue before you get into the quest dialogue?
Yeah, he basically knows shit.
Yeah, he's like, everyone you've ever met works for me.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's like, and I know everything.
Yeah.
I can tell you everything.
And I'm just like, then why are we even in this situation, brother? Like, then this is your fault, if anything else.
Right.
His own arrogance is undoing. But, yeah, we have to work with this man. I thought it was interesting that he says that Zed needs his people freed, but he also needs, quote, like a certain overseer taken care of.
Yeah.
So their interests align, right? But he basically wants somebody on this in this prison camp assassinated, and that's why he's helping us.
Yeah.
And I think he got what he wanted, because I killed every overseer in that mission. They're all dead.
Yeah, they're all dead.
But yeah, that's kind of why this Master of Whispers guy, who is apparently the head of like the Elonian CIA,
yeah, pretty much,
has agreed to help us free Zed's people, is because he's got a dog in the race, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. He gives Zed the layout of the estate and then tells him to join us. And Zed is like, "Why? They're two-legged and inferior."
We only got 2 legs. We're slowpokes.
Yeah,
Zed's a lot faster.
You can have my help, or you can have my help, but otherwise you got to work with them. Otherwise, you got nothing.
And it's weird that Zed is like so resistant, because I'm like, my man Zed, you brought me here. What do you want?
Yeah.
Make up your mind.
So here we go, and we go off on this trek to go and find one
crossroads.
Go ahead. Yeah, Kodaner Crossroads, but along the way, along the way? No, it's when we turn in the quest, right? That we join up with. No, we have to find one of his buddies, right?
I believe
Haraj Firemane.
Yeah, because we just kind of wander through Jahai Bluffs towards the quest marker, which is of course this outpost, Kodaner Crossroads, and Haraj is right outside, I want to say.
That's right. That's where he is. Yes, right outside, and he's just like, cool. And you find out that Zed has a plan. It's brilliant, and he's just like, wait till you hear it. It's great. And we're like, okay. And what is the plan, Aaron?
So there's a little cutscene that plays when we get there, when we go through the portal. And Zed is basically like, hey, our plan is to surrender and go to prison, and then free ourselves, and then we will free everybody. It's just that simple. This sounds like a bad idea.
What could go wrong? Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently Zed's friend Haraj, who we just met outside, is trusted by the Cornins, so he's going to be able to procure a key to give to us. Haraj is essentially that guy, or the Cornins think he's that guy. You know when, like, your people get captured and one of you inevitably, like, becomes the favorite.
Becomes their
Yeah, it becomes part of the oppression, right? Haraj, like, the Cornins think Haraj is that guy, but really Haraj he's still...
Not.
Yeah, he's still ride or die. So, and that's where, like, that's kind of the position we're in going into the mission. But we thought it would be a good idea to take this time to do the Djarin Estate quest chain, because the Codenor Crossroads mission takes place on the Djarin Estate.
Yeah.
So it was, I actually did this all in order too. I did the plot up to this point, and then I went off and I did the Djarin Estate quest, and then I did the mission last. What about you?
Oh, I did it the other way around. I did the mission first, and then I went and did the quest chain.
I think it actually, plot-wise, I believe it makes more sense to do the mission first and then do the quests.
I mean, I don't know that. Yeah, I guess there's nothing really that ties in, like, or speaks to each other other than you're seeing an area that you will play through in a mission.
Yeah, it's just canonically the same plot of land, basically.
Yeah.
So we'll go into this quest chain and then we'll wrap things up with the mission. Cool. This quest chain starts with Dunkoro.
Yes.
And every time I gotta talk to Dunkoro, I just put my head in my hands. He's not a pleasant guy, all right? He's annoying, all right? Dunkoro is annoying. He thinks he's a lot cooler than he is.
Yeah.
He's that guy at the party that when Dunkoro shows up to a party, everybody's like, oh my god, I can't believe he came.
He thinks he's Master Togo, but he's not that cool.
He thinks he's Master Togo. He's not that cool. You know what, Dunkoro is a dork. You heard it here first. Dunkoro is a dork. All right.
Well, but he is telling us about a guy named Zudash Djarin who's blackmailing the Sun Spears.
Because he's the guy we talked to who's hooked us up with Elder Jonah, who hooked us up with the Sanctuary. So Zudash knows where we are at.
Yeah. So he does, and he's hanging out at Yolan Haven. And what he tells us is that this quest is called the Foolhardy Father. And so he tells us that he's essentially he wants us to deal with his blackmail problem, or he's going to tell everyone where we are.
Yeah. And when we talked to Dunkoro about this, Dunkoro's basically like, yo, there's this guy Zudash. He knows where we live. He also knows Koss. He's blackmailing us.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's blackmailing us because he's deep in debt to the Corsairs. And then Dunkoro is just like, why don't you just go over there and see what he wants? So then we go to Zudash and he like tells us about all this stuff. He's like, my son ran off to join the Sun Spears. All I have left is my daughter. I sold a bunch of assets to pay off the Corsairs, but the Cornins seized all the money in transaction. And now the Corsairs are like, we're gonna corsair your ass if you don't get us that money. So we got to go to Barbarous Shore and kill a dude named Ruthless Savad.
Yes.
And this was very easy for me because I've already been here to capture Vow of Strength. So I just ported over to Camp Hojanu and did this very fast.
Oh, nice.
Did you have to go for a bit of a jog?
I did. I went for a bit of a jog, and it was fine. I kind of cracked up because Ruthless Savad he starts talking to you like, I don't know why they call me Ruthless. Everything's fine. But his buddies, because he's there with some of his homies, and they're called Sevad's Boys, which cracked me up.
Are they?
Yeah.
I did not notice that. That's hilarious.
Yeah. And so you go over and he's just like, yeah, I don't know, Zudash is what he's doing. Or, well, Koss is saying, I don't know what Zudash is doing trusting the Corsairs. I mean, I work with Corsairs, but I know better.
Yeah, I want to say Koss is a required hero for all of these quests.
Yeah, and Dunkoro comes along, and Dunkoro, if he's in your party, says, I hope you have a plan. I was like a pop-up. I think it's in the pop-up, or at least it showed up in my chat log. So I'm like, great, you have a plan. You want us to have a plan.
I think
but Sevan is like, yeah, go ahead.
Every time Dunkoro says anything about having a plan, whether it is that he has one or that there is a lack of one, I think it's important to remind the audience that Dunkoro sucks. That is all. That is all.
Right. I think we've established you don't like Dunkoro, and that's okay. But basically, Sevad is like, I would ask for my money, but I see he's hired some sellswords. I can appreciate that. And then he's just like, if you can defeat my posse here, I'll call it square.
Yeah, and he really uses his men as fodder for a wager here.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he's like, no skin off my back, right? Like, they die or they don't. Either way, I win.
Yeah.
And so, of course, I butcher his men before his eyes, horrifically.
Right.
And he's like, I guess it's cool, bro.
Yeah. Well, he also has something interesting to say. And
I didn't get to read it because the fight started.
The fight started, and I just was like, I can't even read that fast. But he talks about how, or he mentions that, his little princess, or so Zudash's daughter. So I guess as far as his little princess is concerned, let's say that ship has sailed. And so something's going on with his daughter. Presumably she's been kidnapped.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, I didn't get to read that from him at all. Because we'll be doing a quest involving the daughter here in a couple quests, and I can't wait to talk about how weird and clumsy the setup for that quest is.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one, there was a lot of guys here, so I kind of broke off the dialogue to do the fight. It wasn't that hard, but I was like, there's a lot of guys, I should do the fight.
But they're kind of all clumped together. Mm-hmm. And so if you're still talking to him, like my heroes just took him out before I even got a shot off, because I was like, oh, you guys are going to try to attack us? Good luck.
And you have Zed in your party now, right?
Yeah, I had Zed in my party.
Do you take Zed, or did you swap someone out for him, or did you leave him behind?
I swapped Zenmai out.
Yeah, Zenmai is probably next on the chopping block for me. I swapped Milani out.
Yeah, so I have
what do you have Zed doing? What kind of magic is he doing?
Water magic. Ooh. And I've got him and then Sasuke is doing fire magic. So
look at us all spread out. I've got my Zed doing air magic.
Oh, okay. I usually have my Vec doing air magic, I think.
We'll learn about Vec someday.
Yeah, not now. So my heroes took him out before I was still reading his dialogue, Seved's dialogue. So I was like, all right. And then he gave up while I was about to click his dialogue box off, because my heroes just obliterated him. I mean, I've got Sasuke with Double Dragon, so all of his homies were like hanging, or they're standing in the AoE, so they basically just got fried.
I had to go back on my assassin to like cap some skills in the Kaineng area, and I did not miss dealing with Double Dragon. Good lord.
Yeah.
It must feel vindictive to now have the power to wield that.
Yep.
It's a good feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And we after we kill those guys and get Savage Bob or whatever his name is off of Zudash's back, Savad
Ruthless
is his
Savad.
name. Ruthless Savad, that's his name.
Yeah.
Savage
Right.
Noonbay.
Right.
He might as well be Savage Noonbay. This would be a better quest if he was Savage Noonbay, actually.
Right. Yeah.
But Zudash, he like kind of apologizes a little bit. He's like, "Hey, I'm sorry I put you in that situation, but like that's I got to be there for my daughter, you know."
Yeah, she's all I have left.
And I don't think we get to tell him anything about Savad mentioning his daughter.
No. All he says is that he prays that she's safe. Now that we are dealing with untrustworthy and brutal corsairs, and it's like, pirates. that's what they do.
Something that is important for later, though, is in the dialogue of this quest. I think it's when we pick it up, or when we talk to Zudash initially before we leave to kill Savage Savad. I can't let that go. He does say his daughter's name.
Yeah.
So we do know her name.
Yes.
Which completely implodes the coming quest regarding the daughter, like the entire premise of it.
Yeah.
And I think it's an oversight.
Yeah, probably.
I don't think that's quite the next quest we do. We got to do a couple more first.
Yeah, so once we complete the Foolhardy Father, he gives us the option for completing the Dajaran Estate quest chain. And that involves completing 4 other quests in order to complete the Dajaran Estate. And so we're basically, he wants to recapture his lands.
Yes. Because the Cornan government has basically seized his property. He was like a wealthy noble, and they've seized his property, and they've turned it into a prison camp for centaurs.
Yes. And it is very large camp of like estate, so you can see why they'd want it, because it's massive in size.
And it's got like buildings, right? Like you just kind of waltz in and repurpose it.
Yeah.
Oh, the Cornans are bad, guys. They're bad.
Yeah, they are.
They do slaves.
Yep.
That's bad.
So, yeah. So he sends us off to talk to a guy named Kahan, who is hanging out at Pogon Passage.
Which you probably went through on your way to Barbarous Shore. Did you not?
No.
Oh, I picked it up on my way there.
I picked it up on my way there, I think is what I did. Maybe I did not. I think I may have had to trek out all the way there.
It's not too hard to get to. I think you can get there from like Arkjock Ward or something like that.
Yeah, it's pretty easy from Yolan. It's not that far of a trek.
Yeah.
So out we go, because it is a quest that requires 4 other quests. You don't have a quest marker.
It's an overarching quest, kind of like the command post quests from last episode.
So I was just referring back to the wiki to make sure I was on the right track.
Yeah, you're right.
There.
Yeah, because the quest basically says talk to Kahan, and it just like you said, it doesn't give you a quest marker, so you just have to go to Pogon Passage and look for a guy named Kahan.
Yeah, once you get into Pogon Passage, he does have a exclamation mark over his head.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to find Pogon Passage first. If you hadn't unlocked it beforehand.
Yes.
Yep.
And yeah, I had it because I went to Barbarous Shore to cap that skill. So it's like on the way.
Yep.
And I think Kahan is the first person that reveals who Zudash is.
Yeah, Zudash is Koss's father.
He is
and
Koss's
he doesn't
dad.
he doesn't like the Sunspears because Koss left to join the Sunspears.
And the game doesn't really treat this like a revelation. They get like Kahan is kind of just like, yeah, so Zudash is Koss's dad, just by the way. Get that out of the way. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's not like there isn't a big moment. That's fine. No. But I always thought there would be a big moment. There's not. It's just it's just kind of tossed casually out there.
Yeah.
And Kahan and Koss are thinking that regaining the estate for Zudash may help Koss get back in his favor.
Mm-hmm.
And Kahan basically points us in the direction of one of Koss's childhood friends named Kwaju, who's basically going to give us like a sneaky little tour of what's going on at the Dejarin estate.
Yes.
How did this go for you? What happened when you went out to meet Kwaju?
So Kwaju is in the sub-quest called Estate Planning. Kwaju likes to run on ahead. If you get hung up, fighting things, he just keeps moving.
Yeah,
I was like, where did you go? And his dialogue will play in the chat box as he hits his spots, and then Koss will respond to him, and I was like, we're not even near where he is.
Yeah, he likes to update the quest as completed, and then 5 minutes later give an entire, ending dialogue.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's just that the quest is kind of buggy. I mean, it's,
I would have missed the whole final dialogue if I had left the map when the quest updated to complete.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because the final quest marker is not where he wants to take you. He wants to take you somewhere else.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's got a bunch of dialogue about being friends with Koss.
Yeah, being friends with Koss, and it's basically him and Koss reminiscing about how nice the place was when things were good, and when they were kids. But now he says it's basically a dump.
Yeah.
It's now a dump. It used to be lush and beautiful. I mean, one of the things, as you can tell, our thumbnail is from the Dejarin estate. The palette for Nightfall is very orange and brown. And the fact that we've got Kwaju telling us that this used to be lush and beautiful, it's like, what has Varish unleashed that Korna is basically dying?
Well, and it harkens back to that quest with Milani about the drought and the river drying
and the
up.
land. Yeah, and the land being essentially scarred from whatever's poisoning it.
It's almost like when you start taking all of the population's food and you start enslaving vast portions of that population and engaging in heavy industry to build your war machine. It's almost like that's not good for the environment.
Right.
I think Varish is learning about that. I mean, Varish is burying her head in the sand, but the people of Korna are learning about this.
Yes, definitely. So we get this tour around this estate that's not anywhere close to being what it used to be. But Kwaju's optimistic in a sense. He's like, if you can get this back, I'm sure you can restore it to its former glory. He tells Koss.
Yeah. And I think the final dialogue is to find a good spot that would be good to strike at ?
Yeah.
I wasn't actually there because I made it to where the quest marker was and I killed the guys and the quest said it was done. And then Kwaju just keeps running off.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, bye. I'm done. I did the quest. And he's lucky I stuck around fiddling with my inventory or I never would have seen the last dialogue play. And Koss is standing here with me and Kwaju's halfway across the map and they're having a whole conversation. Weird. Yeah. A little bit of a buggy quest.
Yeah, definitely. But he tells him, if you need my assistance, young Koss, he calls him. And I'm like, young Koss, aren't you guys childhood friends? You look like you're the same age. But he tells him, come and find him if Koss needs his help.
And I don't think we did end up coming and finding him. Maybe we will later.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know that there's a follow-up to this one. I don't remember that there is.
There's a lot of follow-up quests in this game, though, in Nightfall in particular. So you never really know. We'll keep an eye out for my man, Kwaju.
Mm-hmm.
We actually have to go talk to a guy named Bichu for the reward to this.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
remember he's in
he's in
Pogon.
Camp Honju. Oh, he's in Pogon Passage?
Yeah, he's in Pogon Passage. Because I
Okay.
remember coming into Pogon Passage and seeing these three people standing right by the portal.
Oh, yes. Yes,
And
yes.
one of them is Bechu, the other one is like Howard or whatever. And then one of them is named like Lucky Jack Sparrow or some shit like that, right?
Yeah, I talked to them. I talked to those three as well, and I was like, huh,
And like,
that's interesting.
yeah, obviously one, like the one with the interesting name will be a part of like some quests, but it was not this quest.
Jack of Truths, that's his name.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
yes.
his name. Yeah, I was
Jack
like,
Sparrow.
I,
Right.
I was like, I want to talk to that guy. What's he doing?
Yeah.
But we just end up talking to Bechu instead, and Bechu is another like old family friend.
Yeah.
And he's basically like, bro, it's gonna cost a lot of money to get this place.
Yeah.
I was like, I was not aware we were buying it. I
Right,
thought we were
but-
gonna go kick ass and take it.
Right, I know, but apparently we can't do that because Cornyn's, they're occupying it. So, Petchu tells us to go and tender an offer. See if we can get, part of, the Dejarin estate back.
So already we're making concessions here.
Right, but he tells us to go collect a debt for Koss. I thought this was funny.
This is a hell of a gambling debt if you can use it to
Yeah.
buy an entire like portion
Part
of
of it is-
property.
Yeah, exactly. So we have to go and collect Koss's debt from a guy called Vada. And he's like, oh my gosh, like, Koss, you're here? Sure, here's your money. And I was like, well, that didn't take much persuasion. So there you go.
Koss must
And
be
then
a
we-
man that has a reputation for somebody that like you don't renege
Mess
on.
with. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we do show up and this guy is immediately like, here you go. Like there's
Yeah.
no hesitation on this man's part. He's just like, Koss, you finally came to settle our debt. I've been saving this for you. Here's $40,000.
Right, exactly.
Um,
And so then we have to go and find Caretaker Palmore,
who is
who's a Cornyn.
a Cornyn lady. The name is kind of go either way.
Yeah,
And in Cornyn armor, it's hard to tell, but I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure she is a woman.
she's a chick. Yes. And so we have to go and pay Caretaker Palmore a visit.
And like make an
and-
offer, like it's posted on Zillow.
Right. We have to go. What cracked me up is that the quest objectives say, quote unquote, evict the Cornyn soldiers from the Dejarin land. And I was like, oh.
It puts it in
Okay.
quotes, yeah. And
Yeah, yeah.
It's a little joke, wink, wink. I mean, slaughter them, right?
Right, yeah. Yeah.
But we have to sign up on Redfin so we can make an offer on this estate.
Exactly.
We got to get the app.
Yes.
So we roll
Oh
up.
my
We
gosh.
roll up to Caretaker Palmore, and we're like, "Can I buy a portion of this estate that's owned by the literal president of Corna?"
Right.
This entire thing is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because her name is Caretaker Palmore. Palmore does not own the Dejarin estate.
No.
Um,
No.
And so immediately we've already made the concession of like, okay, we can't have the whole estate. And then Palmore is like, listen, I can take your money and I can allow you to have a very small, tiny, minuscule portion of the estate, but you got to kill all the guys there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is a bad deal.
Right.
Why
I
don't we
know.
just do that and not pay this person?
I know. Yeah. It's weird. Like, how about we just take you out? But I don't know, whatever. So here we go, and we go and evict, quote unquote, wink wink, evict the Cornyns that are hanging out in the little spot. And And there's like 5 guys. It's not even a big deal. It's like, why do we need to mop them up?
Well, and it's bizarre because these are Cornin soldiers, so clearly they're Cornin soldiers on the Dejarin estate, so they're clearly under caretaker Palmore's command. But the way she phrases it is she says you're gonna have to take care of some Cornin soldiers who are, quote, squatting
on the property. Yeah,
and
I know.
I'm like, are they in your army or not? Like, are they vagabonds? Like,
right. But I mean, it just kind of goes to show that like the Cornins, there's no honor. Right?
No.
They will sell each other out.
Yeah.
She basically says if the war marshal asks questions, I'm not making any guarantees for your safety.
Yeah.
This conversation's over and never took place. Give me my money.
Yeah, this is the worst. We've made the worst land deal in history.
Yeah.
She's basically like, hey, I won't send patrols up there, so you can like exist up there. But if Varish needs to do anything up there, it's fucking over for you.
Much. Yeah. But Zudash thinks that this is a great thing. When you go back and like get your quest reward, he's like, "What? You got part of my land back? You and Koss?" I don't know what to say. He gets all teary, and I'm like, "Bro, this was a bad deal. Like, how are you this excited?"
Yeah. So he like starts to be like, maybe I was wrong about Koss. I don't think he doesn't fully forgive him yet, I feel like.
No.
But like we're getting there, we're making progress. And then that is just like that quest ends and you have to go find the next one.
But find is like not really difficult because the guy is standing outside of an outpost.
He is, and if you're an average player, you probably just talk to this guy, take the quest, and move on with your life. I deliberately avoided taking the quest because I was like, oh, well, I'm not doing other quests this episode. I'm just doing these. I didn't know this was one of the quests I needed to do.
Right.
So I kind of, I had to go and look this up on the wiki to figure out what to do. There's a guy standing outside the Dejarin so the Dejarin estate is its own explorable area, and this dude is standing right outside Pogon Passage in the Dejarin estate. What's this guy's deal? What are we doing here?
So he's a corsair, and his name is Hogan the Unpredictable.
Good name. So far in Nightfall, Corsairs seem to have the good names.
Yeah. He's no Savage Nunbei, but we're getting. Yeah, he's got a good.
I feel like Ruthless Savage Savad is like the discount Savage Nunbei.
Yeah. So Hogan he wants our help, is what he says. He's like, my fiance's been kidnapped by a crew of rival Corsairs. You gotta help me get her back.
And he says her name.
Yes.
He said her name is Alonsa, right?
Yeah.
And that should be setting off alarm bells in my character's head because Zudash's
daughter.
Like 3 quests ago, told me his daughter's name.
Yep.
So my character should already know something's up here.
Yes.
Furthermore, Koss is in my party.
Right.
He knows who his sister is.
Right. He should be saying, hey, that's my sister. What?
Yeah, so like on a baseline level, this quest is kind of clunky and clumsy in how they're presenting it. And I don't know. I think it might have to do with the order we did the quest in. Because like theoretically, you could do this without having done... I mean, but you can't get this quest without talking to Zudash. So I don't know how you could do this quest and not know her name. I think it's an oversight.
Sure. I'm not sure if you can pick up this quest without having or if you have... Let me backtrack and try to rephrase myself here. I am not sure that you cannot get this quest without having talked to Zudash. I kind of feel like he's just kind of out there. I wonder if these quests, I think the other 3, right? Tending an offer, which we haven't talked to yet. We just did the estate planning, and then the one that comes next. I think those 3 you have to talk to Zudash in order to get access to. But I have a feeling that this one, the young lady vanishes, can be just picked up. But I have nothing to back up that
it's definitely I'm just being pedantic here, right? Like it's definitely not a big deal. I think actually what the writers are going for is I think they want you to notice because they want you, the player, to feel rewarded for paying attention, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
the name is there for you to be like, ooh, I read the dialogue. I know something's up. I know that's her,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
But where if you're role playing, if you're role playing a little too hard, like I do, right? you're like,
Right.
you're like, I know who that is. Fuck you, I should know
Yeah.
who that is, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so I think what the writers are doing here is actually trying to make you feel smart for paying attention,
Mm-hmm.
whereas
Mm-hmm.
instead they just made me annoyed because my character should like react differently. But it's not a huge deal.
Yeah. Yeah. So Hogan is like, yeah, he's like, he then starts following you around. So I had picked up this quest while I was doing the others, and I turn around and he's like there, and I was like, oh, okay, you're coming with, cool.
Yeah, he follows you
you're not
around.
fighting. Yeah, he doesn't fight or anything, so he's like doing fuck all while he's like following us around, and I'm like, great, cool. But
I didn't notice that he doesn't fight. That always annoys me.
Yeah, he didn't fight. Neither does the other guy, Kwanju.
Oh yeah, no, he is on his own AI script. Like he does not care about what you're doing.
At some point he got kind of like hung up, maybe behind some of my minions, I don't know. But he was still just kind of like standing there, and I'm like, you could at least help.
Kwaju is like mildly bugged.
Yeah, he's a ranger, so I'm like, you must have a weapon, like do something. Anyways, but he doesn't. So neither does Hogan.
Did you see what the quest accept dialogue is for this quest?
For this, a damsel in distress?
Yeah, a damsel in distress, lead the way.
Yeah.
Which is very on brand for the Guild Wars protagonist.
Yeah, well, and then when I first before I got to the name of his damsel, I was like, oh my god, not another romancing quest. And then I read the name and I was like, wait, hang on a second. This is related to the Dejarin estate, right? Yeah, I'll pick that up, and I'll do it later.
Yeah, I was so committed to not doing extra side quests, I didn't even talk to him the first time I went up there.
Yeah.
So I kind of did this all in one whack on a second trip.
Yeah.
And he's a level 16 Paragon, but like you said, he doesn't really do anything to help you.
No.
And then he leads us over the pond somewhere.
Yeah, to a group of Corsairs, and then he's like, look, they're up ahead. I can almost make her out. And I'm like, okay, cool, we're getting close. And then once you do show up, he's like, hey guys, expecting us? And he's like, the guy that he's talking to, what is his name? First Mate Gununu.
Is it really? I'm not gonna lie, I checked out. I was like, the Corsairs, they've got her, we gotta kill them, let's go.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I know the drill.
Yeah. And he's like, well, Hogan, I knew you'd come. It was only a matter of time before you found some unlucky fools to follow you here. And Koss is like, that's not a fiance, that's my sister. And I'm like, this is not good.
This quest is wacky.
Yeah, and then here's Alonso. She's like, look out, it's a trap. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure we already know it's a trap.
Yeah, the line, that's no fiance, that's my sister.
That's my sister.
Is like, I don't even know what era of like cheese that's from.
It's really funny.
Yeah, it's like a Mel Brooks line.
Mm-hmm.
It's straight out of Spaceballs. But yeah, it's bizarrely funny. Because it's so out of place. But we rescue her essentially. We kill all these guys. Yeah,
and she basically tells us that they had promised Zudash that they'd take her to safety, but obviously they didn't. And she's like, thanks for rescuing me. My dad must be so worried. They haven't fed me for 3 days and I'm pretty weak. Just take me to Camp Hojanu and I'll be able to rest. And I'll wait for my dad to get there. And I was like, all right, cool.
These Corsairs are mad out of pocket. Like, Zudash owes them money for for like getting his daughter passage, and they didn't even do it, and they're still demanding he pay them. And then after he pays them for them like getting his daughter passage, what's their plan? To ransom her for more money?
Probably.
Yeah, that's great. That's a fantastic extortion scheme that didn't go anywhere.
So the one thing that I will say, I don't know if this is how they scripted programmed her AI, but her line about I'm weak because I haven't been fed for 3 days. Homegirl takes forever to like follow you to Camp Hojanu.
I noticed that.
Can you run any faster, please?
Because I ran there and I got to the quest star at the portal and I'm just standing there looking around.
Yes.
Yeah, that happened to me as well, 100%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I wanted to can I put some speed boost on you? No, because this is the wrong game.
Does fallback not work on her?
No, she doesn't. I don't think so.
No,
I don't think it does. It's terrible. But yeah.
I did because I hate having to escort NPCs back after I've done the quest. But I did like that they at least put a reason for it in the dialogue.
Yeah.
That at least I can role play that, right? I can be like, okay, fair enough,
Yeah.
But yeah, that she could have got to move on. And it turns out that this on the Dejarn estate on the way to Camp Hojanu is actually where I found Delsbay, the weird creep that likes to throw Hecate tongues at women.
Oh my gosh.
So he's just hanging out on the Dejarn estate.
Is he in Cornin soldier attire or anything like that, or he's just some wacko?
No, he's just some wacko. First order of business, evict to this man.
Oh my god.
With extreme prejudice.
Oh my lord. Okay, yeah. For sure.
Yeah, I'd be like, bro, I know the landlord. You're done.
Yeah.
But once we get her back safe to camp, then we can go talk to Zudash, I want to say.
Yeah, although there is one more. Is that all of them now?
So it's weird. Because meeting her in Arkjok Ward should just be what we do next. But instead, we go turn this quest in and then get a new quest to go meet her in Arkjok Ward.
Yeah, the Family Ties one, right?
Yes. And all we do for that quest is go talk to her and then go back to Zudash and talk to him.
It's hilarious because she's just like, I'll wait for my dad in Camp Hojanu. I'm like, well, then why is she out at Arkjok Ward?
Exactly, yeah. It kind of...
yeah.
There's a few parts of this question that are a little clunky.
Yeah.
So yeah, we go back to Zudash and we get the quest reward for this. And then he's like, hey, me and Koss always used to butt heads when Koss was growing up, but I see his heart is in the right place now. Why don't you go talk to Alonse in Arkjok Ward and ask her to return here to start helping me rebuild the estate? And I'm like, doesn't everyone know this is what we're doing already? Why is she standing in Arkjok Ward doing nothing?
Right.
Why?
Yeah.
So I have to go kill 40 insects that are just outside the Yolan Haven portal just so I can talk to
go and talk to her.
Alonse. And then she's like, hey, great. I have a letter for my dad who's 20 feet away. Can you take it to him? What the hell? This family is garbage at communicating with each other.
They don't believe in cell phones or telephone text messages. No,
they don't believe in walking over to town to be.
I mean, that's it. It's like she could have walked to Yolan Haven. It was right there.
It's like if you manage to get yourself to that spot in Arkjok Ward, you can get yourself back to Yolan Haven. Change my mind.
I know. Yeah. And she's a monk.
She is a level 10 monk.
Yes.
She's a sitting duck.
Pretty much, yes. Especially with all those bugs out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and she invites Koss to visit more often.
Yeah, and to bring your friends, your new friends.
Bring the lads.
Apparently not the old friends.
Not the Corsairs. No Margaret the Sly over for dinner.
Nope. Yeah, but Zudash is very happy. We've gotten them a sliver of their estate back. We've reunited their family.
And he proclaims Koss to be a good man.
A good man. Yeah.
Not that I think Zudash Dejarin is a particularly good judge of character, but whatever.
Right. But, he recognizes that it's down to Koss's efforts that the family is together again.
We got the gang back together.
We got the Jaren gang back together again.
And then we got a now that we've kind of explored the estate a little bit, at least for me, I've got a mission to go do.
Yep.
I like this mission.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I thought it was very good. It's a little long.
Yes.
But I think it's good. I think it's a lot better than Venta Cemetery.
Oh yeah, 100%. This one, as I was going through it, I was like, okay, I have a vague memory. So basically the plot here is that we've got to bust out the centaurs, right? And free them, and then go and free their leader. What was his name? It's been so long. Mirza Veldrunner, right?
Yes.
So we're locked away in the cell when the mission starts, because we go up and talk to the NPC to start the mission, and we basically turn ourselves in.
This is bizarre. Yeah, the mission start NPC is an enemy combatant.
Yeah, and we're like, hi, we're Sun Spears. We're here to turn ourselves in. We're hungry and tired.
And he's like the dumbest motherfucker on the face of the earth. He's
like, oh my gosh, this is my lucky day. I'm going to get a promotion. And I'm like, okay, that's pretty funny writing.
Yeah, he's like, free pizza. Great.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Homeboy is super excited and thinks that he's done a good thing by letting us in. I'm sure he went and got himself fired for letting us in after this mission is complete.
Oh, without a doubt. If we didn't kill him during the mission.
True. Very true.
His name's Rakesh. So I didn't kill anyone named Rakesh. So I think maybe he's that guy that gets eaten by the hunger at the end of this mission.
Oh God, you're probably right.
I mean, that guy's name was just Corn and Guard, I think, but like I'd like to roleplay that it's Rakesh.
Yeah, it could be. So we let ourselves get captured. What's his name? Haraj? No, Firemane.
Haraj, I want to say is his name.
Oh wow. Okay, yeah, okay.
Haraj, Haroj. Not to be confused with the biblical King Herod.
Okay. Yes, you're right. So our insider, Haraj Firemane comes, gives us the key, gets us out, and away we go to kill Cornin Taskmasters.
Yeah.
To get the keys off of them, to then go unlock cell keys one at a time, and we've got to do 6 of these around the estate. And to get essentially a posse of Veldrunner centaurs, and then we can go and free their leader.
One of them is a green, like, boss aura, ranger, level 24 boss centaur, and he doesn't show up in the party, like, ally list. He's just there.
Yes.
That's fun. I like that.
I know. I was like, hey, did I count right? I thought I had to get 6.
What I think is very funny is the entire crux of this mission is the 2 guards guarding your cell are just like, what if we just left?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
like this whole thing doesn't
take a break.
Yeah, the whole thing doesn't work if they didn't just leave. Because I don't think Haraj can take them both by himself. But luckily they do.
Yeah.
And the kind of what you have to do is the Cornin Taskmasters have the keys to the cells. There's 6 cells, I want to say.
Yep.
And you have to go around and find the Taskmasters so that you can unlock all the cells. The bonus is to kill the 3 cruel Taskmasters who are bosses.
Yep.
I brought a Signet of Capture with me to get one of the skills they had.
I didn't want any of their skills, so I didn't.
So we've got a Necromancer. Well, you've probably got plenty of elites on your account. I have no elites. So we've got another Necromancer hero coming up. And already decided I'm going to go Blood is Power on him, which is like
very cool.
It's like a buff you can give casters for their energy. It's really nice. You capture Blood is Power in this mission. So I went Dervish Necromancer and I captured that.
Very nice.
I was thinking of getting Zealous Benediction for Takora, and I decided, you know what? We've been doing awesome with the Restore Condition build. I'm just going to leave that.
Okay.
I'll come back and get it if I need her healing more. I don't know. We seem to be doing great, so I'm not worried about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just think this mission is good. I think it's got a lot of different things going on. You got to get the taskmasters, you got to open the cells, you got some centaur allies, you got some bosses you can fight for the bonus, and then the end fight was actually kind of hard.
Yeah, and it wasn't until I got to the end of the mission area, where you essentially have to storm like the keep of the fortress, where they've got Mirza held, and he's got 2 overseers. We don't know which one of these the Master of Whispers wanted taken out, so we kill them both.
Yeah, and that like doesn't come up again in this mission, that the Master of Whispers wanted someone assassinated.
No.
Like, he's not there. It's not mentioned which of them is important to him. It's just that little throwaway line of dialogue like 2 quests ago.
Yeah.
I like that. I think it's cool that like the Master of Whispers is pulling strings behind the scenes and you have no idea what they are.
Right.
Like, that's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
How did you find this final fight? I like nearly lost it here.
I remembered when I got to the door, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I do not want to go and just storm and run in there and try to take them all out, because I'll get my butt fried. So I hung out by the gate. I flagged my heroes back, like the whole blob of them, and I tried to pull groups over to, like, essentially I used the gate as kind of like a choke point and just kind of whittled them down until they were manageable, and then I ran up and killed the overseers.
So I forgot that some of the patrols in this map like move around, and I got a whole group from the back while I was trying to do this. I lost a couple centaurs. A couple of them died.
Oh, yeah.
Or they got really low. They either got really low or they died. All I know is the centaurs were in trouble.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so we nearly lost it there. But Dunkoro and Takora kind of pulled it out with the sweet monking skills.
Sweet.
Yeah, so I managed to get through there. There's Cornin elites. There's some elite Cornin soldiers in this mission. And the scribes are fire elementalists, and they do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
So kind of high priority targets for the elites. And then we got to kill Overseer Baktek and Overseer Habe.
Yeah.
And
Habe was your blood is power guy. Yeah.
Actually, the other cruel taskmaster who was a necro has blood is power. So I just capped it from him. That way I didn't have to worry about getting it from Habe before the cutscene rolled.
Yeah.
Because that would have been a pain.
Yeah, and Baktek had Cautery Signet, which didn't really interest me.
Yeah, I know there's a Paragon hero that's going to be coming somewhere down the line, and I looked at Cautery Signet as well, and I was like, I think that sucks.
Yeah.
So I did not capture it either.
I did not capture it either. I was like, no, I'll hold off.
Like, no, I'm good. I don't. It's something about cleansing conditions, but it had like a really long recharge, and you had to like set yourself on fire. I was like, I'll pass.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa, no, I know what that sounds like, and that's not good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then there's a cutscene once we clean all that out and free all the centaurs.
Yeah. And
Rakesh gets eaten by the hunger.
Rakesh gets eaten by the hunger. Varish is really ticked off that she wanted to know who was responsible for letting us through, and Morgan is basically tries to talk her down because she fed the Cornin captain to the hunger, right?
Yeah, and I like Varish's performance as well. She's very much that kind of like good. Cool, menacing level of angry. She doesn't like scream or shout or lose her shit, right? She's just very like calm, but you know she's angry.
Who is responsible for this?
War Marshal.
Captain, why did you not kill the traitors when you had the chance?
We thought you would want them alive, War Marshal.
You were mistaken, Captain. Hunger?
It's very menacing. It's quite good. I like Varish a lot. She's a good bad guy.
Yeah, and Morgan is like, "What are you doing? Like that guy was just doing his duty." And she's like, "As I do mine."
Yeah.
So she's like not here for the excuses of failure.
Yeah, I think what he said was, if you keep punishing soldiers like that, we're not going to have any soldiers left.
Right. Yeah. And she basically kind of blows him off, or she tries to placate him. She's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry for my impulsive response." And then she calls General Bale,
who's like her. He's like her yes man.
Oh yeah, 100%. Tells him to take the hunger and whatever forces he needs to go after us and kill us.
Yeah, she basically says, "Fix it, make it better."
Yeah, make it better. Yep. But before that, the centaurs, the head centaur Mirza thanks us for freeing him.
Yeah, it's this cutscene start. I thought the Zed stuff was last. It's first.
Yeah, it's first. Yeah. So he thanks us for freeing us, or for freeing him. And Zed says that he's gonna come with us.
And we whine about being called Two Legs.
We whine about being called Two Legs, and we tell him to watch his language, which I'm like, okay, human. And he's like, okay, sure, you lead, I'll follow. And as soon as we walk off, he's like, yeah, Two Legs.
Yeah, so, like as the scene fades to black, he goes,
mm-hmm.
Two Legs.
Yeah, it's funny. It's still funny after all of these years that he's just kind of like gonna be like whatever.
He's catty, but we like Zed.
We like him.
How many fantasy games have you played where you get to have a centaur in your party?
Yeah, I know. Not many. I think it's Guild Wars.
Yeah, I have played one. It's called Guild Wars.
Yeah.
Fantasy game people, get on that. Larian Studios, CD Projekt Red, get on Centaur Allies.
Right.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Obsidian, make me a Centaur game. Anyway, that's kind of where we leave things off for this episode.
Yeah, but we do know that the big dude is called Hunger.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think this is when we finally learn the name of it.
Varish calls him, because in the last episode she says, "Bale, bring me the hunger." Right.
Right.
And then in this episode she just like directly refers to the hunger as Hunger, like they're on a first name basis, like Jerry, but Hunger. It's kind of awkward.
It's funny because she's just like, "Hunger? Are you hungry? Just do your thing."
Yeah.
And I think we know why the Cornins are running low on meat.
Oh yeah, 100%. And that harkens back to that cow quest we did. Thank God that quest like ties into something, because what an awful quest.
I know.
But the interesting implication, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the situation we're in. The Hunger and General Bale are after us. We've freed the centaurs. So we have some centaur allies. We're trying to figure out how to get to Vabi. We were basically sidetracked, right? We were trying to get to Vabi, and then Zed Shadowhoof rolled in and was like, "Stop! You're helping me." And then we did like Ocean's 11 really quick. And now we gotta get back to...
Because Nerashi saw an opportunity.
Exactly. Yeah, because Nerashi is the MVP. And now we gotta go back to get Navabi. So that's what we'll look into next episode. I think there's still like at least 2 missions before we actually enter Vabi, but...
Yeah, we're gonna be here a while.
There's a bunch of quests at the command post that are like with Koss and Milani and Dunkoro. We want to work those in. Because like we want content involving like the main characters of Nightfall, right?
Yeah, we didn't get the gang to give us in Prophecies when we were playing through Prophecies. They just kind of showed up and started following us around every now and then, and we wanted to know more about them. So here we've got our heroes, our Nightfall gang, and they've got quests that we can find out and help them out with. So
we asked for this, essentially, is what Miko is saying here.
We did. And we were like, last episode, you were like, okay, we're not going to have any more side quest episodes. And now we're like, oh shit, look at all these side quests that we want to do.
Well, there may need to be a side quest episode.
We're not good at sticking to our plan.
Yeah, we'll look into what the deal's going to be, and then
we'll make a decision.
We will plan accordingly. So stay tuned for all the good stuff that's coming down the pipe. Yeah. Until then, Miko, where can people find you on the internet?
The good people can find me at Inky Sticks on various social media platforms. Pick one, and I'm probably there.
Awesome. And you can follow us here on Tyria Now. This is the Tyria Then podcast. If you have questions that you'd like us to answer, leave a comment. And if there's a mild amount of them, we will answer all of them.
Right.
If there's a lot of them, then we'll have to spread them out over several episodes.
Yeah.
If you guys want to follow us on other platforms, we're on Twitter and now known as X, and Spotify and Apple Podcasts and Blue Sky.
That's right.
So go ahead and follow us there for updates. That's where I do a tweet when the episode's gonna be late.
Or when it's gone live.
Yeah, or when it's gone live. So you can probably keep tabs on that. And until next time, guys, that's going to be everything for episode 34. It's a wrap. So we will talk to everybody next time.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.